Hello everyone, welcome back to the Resin Lab. This is episode 3 and today I am going to attempt to make this heart right here, this heart mold with some dried roses. So what I did was about a month ago, I put about 6 roses into this silica gel here and waited for them to dry. And out of the 6 roses, I have 3 good buds and quite a few petals. So I'm thinking of making this heart with some lights and the roses, and maybe like a little prayer or something. But I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put the prayer on top and then top coat it, or if I'm going to use the acetate trick that I mentioned in my first video. If you're wondering what that is, you can go back to episode number 1, and I explain how I use vinyl with acetate in my resin pieces. I do have a lot of petals, and I thought this mold was a little bit bigger. In my head it looked a little bit bigger, but it is actually smaller than I expected. And I just spent about 15 minutes trying to get the silica gel out of these roses, and as you can see, I didn't do a very good job with this one. So you want to make sure, and full disclosure, this is the first time that I'm working with dried flowers and resin. I just wanted to experiment with something new. A few customers have asked me before if I've ever done work with fresh flowers before, and I don't. Fresh flowers are delicate and they are very emotional for whomever the piece would belong to, and so I would not dare try to do a piece for a customer just yet. This piece, once it is finished, will go on sale in my Etsy shop. So if anyone is interested in purchasing it, it will be on sale on my Etsy shop, and I'll post the link in the description box. There will only be one available though, so you'll want to, if you're interested in purchasing this piece, you'll want to grab it quickly. And that's assuming that the piece comes out the way that I envision it, because if it doesn't, then I might gift it to my mom. Usually I gift pieces to family if they don't come out 100% perfect. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, well, I'm gonna have to clean out this mold now, but the first thing that I'm gonna do is mix some fast cure resin and coat the roses and the rose buds. Oh look, I have 4 rose buds. Coat the rose buds and the petals with fast cure resin, and I'm gonna leave that overnight because it's not late, but it is late in the evening. And then tomorrow I'll start building the piece. Okay, I've mixed up about 60 milliliters of fast cure resin, and I think that might be a little too much, but I'm gonna go with it and see. I'm going to flood the roses on top of this silicone mat so that you know, things don't get too messy. So we'll see how this goes. In fact, I think I might use this cup here and just start pouring in. Let's see, let me adjust the camera a little bit. All right, let's see how this goes. I'm gonna dip it into the fast cure. And the purpose of doing this is to make sure that I don't have trapped bubbles in my finished piece, because the roses will attract a lot of trapped bubbles or trapped air. So I want this to be sealed before I put it in my piece. That way I don't have the danger, or I minimize the exposure of the trapped air and the bubbles. And I realized at the angle that I'm at, you really couldn't see what I was doing. So I'm just dipping the flour in the cup and then letting it drip. And what I probably should do, and I didn't think about this before, is hang them upside down in these little cups here. So let that flour soak in there for a minute or two while I get a stick. The only thing is I don't have any string to tie the rose to the stick, so let's forget that. Okay, I just let the bud soak inside the cup for, let's say about 30 seconds. So now I'm just letting the excess drip back into the cup. And I think I'll put you all on a fast forward for this so that you don't have to sit here with me this whole time. Okay, it's the next morning and I did some cleanup because I had a lot of resin on the mat. So I did do that off camera. I noticed that with the petals, they came out great on the one side, but then I didn't get resin on this side. So I'm not going to use this petal. This petal stuck to the mat, and so it's got this opaque spot here, and when I tried to peel it off, obviously the flower got ruined. So that one is no good. And this is what it looks like with it stuck to the mat. And this is what I was trying to avoid for the buds. So what I thought of off camera last night is to put the buds upside down on resin tape, because the resin won't stick to the tape once it's cured. So let's see if I can get them off without ripping them. And that's what they look like. So I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if it's going to have the same effect that I was going for originally. This one's not too bad. I suppose once I pour over it, it'll blend. We'll have to see. Yeah. So I'm not too... Yeah. So I'm not too crazy about how they came out. I probably should have hung them upside down. I'll try that on another experiment on another time. I'm gonna keep going because I think that they could come out nice. There are a little bit of bubbles that you can probably see. So, and I don't want to sand it because, yeah. Yeah, I think this was a fail for sure. So, but I have a backup plan. I do have these dried petals on the side that I didn't cover in resin because I didn't know how that was going to go. So I'm going to scrap these rose buds. It is what it is. Look, they even still have silicone gel in them, even after I dusted them out. But I do have other flowers that are wood flowers. They're from Wood Sola. And so I do have to paint them. Okay, I am back and I decided to use these wood flowers that I got from Love Sola. And I painted them with this Deco Art metallic paint, extra sheen. It's called Ruby. So these are going to be the flowers that I put in. I've mixed 160 or 120 milliliters. I don't think I'm going to use that much in the heart. I think I'm only going to pour maybe 50 because if you notice my rose, it's already kind of, the bud at the very bottom is already kind of sticking out, and I don't want to cut it till I've completely, I don't want to cut it till it's secure, because if I cut this too much, then it's going to disassemble the flower. So I've got this for the heart mold. I've got 40 milliliters to flood coat these flowers, and I'm putting them this time right side up in these little cups so they can drip. And then I have an extra mold in case I have some extra, which I probably will. So let me start with pouring the clear layer first. So again, I have 120 milliliters. I don't want to start off with 50 just because I don't want my roses to protrude in the back too much. And, oh, so that is about 60 milliliters right there. So that looks good. I'm just going to spray that with some alcohol. So I have 60 milliliters left that I can use somewhere else. Let me go ahead and just pop this bubble right here. And any bubbles on the edge. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside. And now, let's see, I have 60 milliliters. And I also have my fast cure. I have about 40 milliliters of that. I'm waiting for the bubbles to rise to the top because I won't be able to heat gun or much less torch the flowers. I've heat gunned the flowers before and I ended up burning them, so I don't want to do that. But I did get in some new molds, so I'm gonna try to do a little turtle. And I'll do 2 turtles. Let's see how much that takes. And then if I have enough, I'll do 2 little teddy bears. So let's do that. So let me get this color. Let's see, what color do I want to use? I think I want to do an alcohol ink. So I'm pulling out my Let's Resin alcohol ink set. And for the turtles, I'll do a green, if I can find it. Okay, so I picked out aquamarine for the turtles and latte for any teddy bears that come out. So I'm going to split this into a smaller cup. And I do have to work quickly because I can feel my resin heating up. Not only that, I'm checking on my fast cure. So I'm going to mix, I'd say about 30 milliliters for the turtles. That's about 25. And we'll do, let's see. It says to shake before use, so make sure you shake your alcohol inks before you use them. And this is the first time that I'm using these inks. So, oh, it looks like I've got it. Okay. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow, that looks amazing. I think maybe I should have poured it in the turtle and then spritzed it in there. But this looks so pretty and it's translucent. I don't know, let me move that back into the camera there. I think that's good. So let's go ahead and pour. that's perfect. I have enough for the other turtle. I think I'm gonna put another drop. Just to get that color. To the edges there. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love that. Oh, I can't wait to demold that. Okay. So let's do this one. And hopefully I have enough. I can always pour in the clear and then put in the drops of alcohol ink. Okay, I think that's good. We set that aside. And I'm going to pour just a teensy bit more. There we go. And I'm going to distribute that color there. And a couple more drops. Okay, and we'll let that do its thing. So I'll move these aside. And let's work on the flowers now. I think I should be good. So let me move this out of the way. Okay. And my goal is to fill up the flower with the fast cure resin so that when I submerge it in my piece, I don't get a major amount of bubbles. And hopefully this works and it doesn't all leak into the cup. Okay, that looks good for the most part. I'm gonna lean it like that. I think I might need more fast cure after filling this one up. Yeah, that one just alone took quite a few. Okay, so we're gonna let that one sit. Let's do this next small one. This one's gonna be a little harder because the bud is a little smaller. The bud is a little smaller, so let's go for it. Oh, I just realized you can't see that. Let me get under the camera. And that's gonna spill there a little bit, but think that'll work just fine like that. Spray that. I really hope the bubbles rise. Otherwise, it's just gonna ruin the piece. Oops. And I'm not gonna put these on the heat. Because again, I don't want the bubbles to get trapped. So I want to give the resin time, or the bubbles time to rise. And this one should be fine like that. This right here is what's really going to cause bubbles in the piece if I don't flood this. I think that'll be just fine there. Let me spray that. All right, so let me put that aside. Let me scrape out whatever I have left. And 40 milliliters seem to be good, so I'm really afraid to take my heat gun. I don't want to burn those flowers because they are wood flowers. So the last thing I want, I spent quite a bit of time painting them earlier today, so I don't want them to be ruined. So, okay, let's pour the rest of this in here. Right, let's clean that off. Oh, why did I do that? I thought I said I would. Look at me, I'm just all over the place. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 drops, 4 drops in here. And then I'll do some additional, that looks like honey. Wow, that looks really pretty. If I didn't know any better, I would say this is honey. Okay, so let's pull out this little guy and pour. And I won't have enough for another bear, but I will have enough for a tiny bear. So let's get some more color in this guy. Maybe I should have done that after. Let's give that a swirl. Note to self, spray with alcohol after you apply the alcohol inks. That is pretty. Okay. Okay, so I am going to let these cure overnight. And again, I will be back in the morning to see how everything turned out. And just squeegee that. This latte color is really pretty. I'm liking it very much. Okay, I will come back and we'll do the next layer of the heart in just a moment. Okay, so I am back and I've mixed about 240 milliliters of resin, and I'm getting ready to pour this over the flowers. I thought about putting them upside down because I did want to put in lights, but unfortunately, since I didn't flood them enough, I'm going to get some major bubbles if I put these flowers in upside down. So I decided to put them right side up and forego the lights for this project and just pour. Alright, welcome back. So I've put you all on fast forward for the last few pours just because it's pretty clear what I'm doing, and I didn't want to bore you with having to go through all of that in regular time. But I decided to kind of walk you through what I've done. I've poured about 2 layers of 240 milliliters each. That's just about the amount of resin that you can pour without it flash curing, and it cured just fine. Now I'm going to try and dome the top and cover the roses as much as I can. And then if I still need to do a top coat, well, actually, no, I am going to do a top coat. I still haven't decided what little prayer passage I'm going to put on this side here. And I also haven't decided how I'm going to, prop up the piece because it is a heart. And so I either have to lay it on its side or stand it upright. So I haven't decided how I'm going to do that. So we'll see. So let's get, I've gone ahead and mixed 100 milliliters of clear resin and debubbled it. So let's pour this last top up here and hope we can cover the roses completely. And it looks like that's going to work just fine. So that's perfect. It is doming a little bit. So I may or may not do a top coat depending on how it comes out. I may just leave it like that. That looks pretty good already. I was expecting it to take a little less, but let me just pop this bubble right here. But it looks like I only have a small amount of that rose there. So I'm gonna leave this here. I'm not gonna dare move this piece because I've worked really hard on this. I'm gonna cover it and let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow we will demold this along with the little teddy bears and turtles that I poured the other day. And then I will be doing a back coat because I want some color in the back, and so we'll do that together as well. So I'll see you soon. Okay, it is time to demold. So the other day I poured these little teddy bears, and I have been waiting to finish this piece to be able to demold them, and look how adorable they look. So cute. They look like candy. So adorable. And then I have these little mini bears. They've got some bubbles in them, but these are going to be my giveaway pieces. But look at that. Super cute. Very cute. And then the turtles. Oh, wow. Look at that. And it has little eyes on the side. That is too cute. Too cute. It has little eyes and a little mouth. Too cute. I got a few little bubbles here on the top, but nothing too big. I really love the alcohol inks. This is the first time that I've used alcohol inks. I'm normally a mica powder or pigment person, but wow, that looks adorable. Just adorable. All right, and then this piece I poured the first night that I flood coated the flowers, and I put some crushed crystal in it, not really knowing what that was gonna look like. And it doesn't look too bad. The facets kind of give it that little shine. I mean, I'm not a fan of the color, how it came out. Burgundy is not really my favorite color, but the crushed crystal didn't sink, which is good. I thought it was going to sink. I have a little tiny bubble there, but again, this will be part of giveaways when customers order or spend a certain amount at my booth at craft fairs. So now we've got the big reveal. So I have a little bit of a drip right here, so I was really bummed about that. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how this came out. The rose is protruding here like I suspected. So what I'm going to end up doing is sanding the top to cut down the rose and make it all flush, and then I'll do a top coat, and then I'm also going to do a back coat. So let's demold this and just get some alcohol in there so it'll just pop out. Oh wow, that is a beautiful piece. I'm gonna break this piece off now, and I think I'll probably put some rhinestones around the edge once that's finished, just to bling it up a little bit. This piece is coming off pretty easily so far. I really wish I was able to put lights in this piece. I think the lights really would have made it, it would have been a game changer. But look at that. Not too bad, considering it started out as a little bit of a disaster. So I am going to do a back coat in a color. I think I'm going to do, I don't know. I haven't decided. I have a little bubble there, but it'll get covered with the back coat. I do have some teeny bubbles inside, but overall it came out really nice. It came out really nice. So I'm going to sand the top of this and also sand the back, put some Elmer's glue on the edges, and then yeah, look at that. And then I haven't decided how I'm gonna prop it up. I don't know if I'm gonna just let it sit on its side like this or make a base for it. So we'll see what I come up with. These little guys, I'll probably, they come with a keychain kit. So I'll probably do that and maybe put some stones on the edge of this guy here. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna go sand the top of this, put together the flood coat in the back. Actually, I think I'm gonna do that now. And then I'll do the front, and then I'll work on these little guys right here. So stay tuned. Welcome back. So I have back coated the heart with a caramel color, and I really love how that came out. What you're seeing on top of here is Elmer's glue to protect the back once I do the flood coat. I took a disposable cup and cut it down to make it a base for this to stand on. I have my little Lazy Susan to turn and a silicone mat to protect that. So I'm ready to do the flood coat. You can see the top is sanded and it's now flush. You can see a little bit of the wood here with the flowers, but I think I'll cover that with some rhinestones or some pearls once the flood coat is cured. But I am ready. I am excited to see how this piece turns out. I've mixed up 40 milliliters of the fast cure resin for the top coat. And I am, even though this piece has been quite a journey, I am ready to see how it turns out. So I've got my little spatula ready to do the sides kind of like a cake. So let's pour. Welcome back. So the flood coat came out great. I have a few minor imperfections that I fixed with UV resin here, but I'm not going to sand it or fuss with it anymore. And then I did have an edge that I needed to sand down, which I did already, but the back looks a little shaved down here, so I'm going to put some semi-gloss on that to cover that up. But other than that, this piece is done. I am happy with it. I think that it was a huge journey. I'm going to put some semi-gloss that you'll see in the final picture at the end of the video. The turtles, I made them into magnets. I thought I was going to do them into keychains, but I decided to make them into magnets, and they came out adorable. So did the teddy bears. I put a magnet on the back of those. And then these little teddy bears too. I didn't draw a face on these. I'm waiting for some acrylic markers that have a very fine point to draw on these. But I think they look cute nonetheless. So there's that. And then this I glossed with the Duraclear High Gloss just because it looked a little dull and it really brightened up the color. And it hid the sand marks on the bottom. So that is everything. I really appreciate you if you have stuck with me throughout this video up until now. It's been a long one, and it definitely has been a learning experience and a journey. I am excited to do another heart. I won't do another video of a heart anytime soon unless it's requested. But I will post pictures on my social media or even here on YouTube. So if you liked this video and you have seen my other episodes, please subscribe and follow. I would really, truly appreciate it. And until then, I'll see you on episode 4.